In the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, where deserts meet the sea, there stand stone guardians, silent, unshaken, that have witnessed over 1,000 years of history. Oman, home to more than 500 castles and forts, a living museum of power, poetry, and perseverance. Some stood defiantly against invading armies. Others protected the golden trade routes of frankincense and silk. And each wall, each tower, whispers stories of sultans, scholars, soldiers. So tell me, are you ready to step inside their walls? From UNESCO World Heritage giants to hidden coastal watchtowers, we'll uncover their secrets, marvel at their design, and walk the very paths where history itself was written. Because this journey isn't just about stone and mortar. It's about identity, heritage, and the soul of a nation that has stood proud for centuries. So buckle up, because you don't want to miss a single step of this epic adventure. Now, let's begin our odyssey. Jabrin Castle. Jabrin Castle, or call it Jabrin in Arabic, isn't just another tourist attraction. This is a fortress that tells the story of a nation's ingenuity, a ruler's vision, and the Islamic Golden Age's architectural mastery. Built in the 17th century, this palace-fortress hybrid represents everything that made Omani civilization so resilient. So grab your virtual passport, because we're about to explore rooms where sultans held court, discover defense mechanisms that would make medieval engineers jealous, and uncover why this castle became the crown jewel of Omani architecture. Our story begins in 1670 with Imam Bil Arab bin Sultan. Not just a ruler, but a Renaissance man who understood that true power comes from knowledge, not just military might. While most rulers of his era focused on building impenetrable fortresses, Bil Arab had a different vision. He wanted to create something unprecedented, a castle that was simultaneously a palace, a center of learning, and an unbreachable stronghold. Think of it as the 17th century equivalent of combining the Pentagon, Harvard University, and Buckingham Palace into one incredible structure. But here's where it gets fascinating. Bil Arab wasn't just thinking about defense against human enemies. This region faced constant threats from Portuguese colonizers, rival tribes, and the harsh desert environment itself. So every single design choice in Jabrin Castle serves multiple purposes. Those walls, they're not just thick, they're engineered with a complex ventilation system that keeps the interior cool even when desert temperatures soar above 120 degrees Fahrenheit. That's ancient air conditioning, folks. Now, let's talk about what makes this place absolutely mind-blowing from an architectural standpoint. First off, the ceiling that literally took my breath away. This isn't just decoration, it's mathematical art. These geometric patterns follow Islamic principles that create both acoustic perfection and psychological impact. Imagine being an enemy soldier walking into this room. You'd instantly know you were dealing with a civilization far more sophisticated than you expected. But the real genius is in the details you can't see. Hidden throughout this castle are over 55 rooms connected by a maze of secret passages. Some of these passages are so narrow that only one person can pass through at a time, perfect for controlling movement during a siege. And here's something that blew my mind. See these beautifully carved wooden doors. Each one is positioned to create a specific airflow pattern. The entire castle works as one giant climate control system, using physics principles that we're only now fully understanding. The water storage system is equally brilliant. Underground cisterns could hold enough water for hundreds of people for months, fed by an ingenious rainwater collection system built into the castle's very foundations. But Jabrin Castle's greatest secrets aren't just architectural, they're strategic. This castle was designed as the ultimate psychological warfare weapon. Every room an invader entered was designed to intimidate and confuse. The main audience hall, for instance. It isn't just beautiful, it's acoustically engineered so that the imam's voice would carry with supernatural clarity while making it impossible for anyone else to whisper without being heard. And then there are the rooms that still puzzle historians today. We found spaces that seem to serve no obvious purpose, with architectural features that don't match anything else in the region. Some experts believe these were designed for astronomical observations, while others think they house the imam's legendary library. Speaking of mysteries, during recent restoration work, archaeologists discovered sealed chambers that hadn't been opened for centuries. What they found inside, well, that's still being studied, but early reports suggest artifacts that could rewrite what we know about 17th century Omani culture. Loving what you see? You can experience it too. Today, Jabrin Castle isn't just a monument to the past. It's a living piece of Omani culture. The restoration project, completed in the 1980s, used only traditional materials and techniques. Master craftsmen who still possessed knowledge passed down through generations worked alongside modern engineers to ensure every detail remained authentic. But what makes this place truly special is how it continues to inspire. Modern Omani architects study Jabrin's ventilation and water management systems for sustainable building techniques. Its acoustic principles influence contemporary mosque design, and its integration of function and beauty serves as a masterclass in purposeful architecture. For visitors today, Jabrin Castle offers something increasingly rare, a chance to experience history not as a museum piece, but as a living, breathing example of human ingenuity. Standing in the courtyard of Jabrin Castle as the sun sets over the Omani desert, you can't help but feel connected to something larger than yourself. This isn't just a building. It's proof that with vision, knowledge, and determination, humans can create something that transcends time itself. Imam Arab bin Sultan built this castle to last forever, and 350 years later, it's still teaching us lessons about innovation, resilience, and the power of bringing together the best minds of your time to create something extraordinary. Qasim Castle. Nestled in the dramatic landscape of Oman's Majestic Peninsula, Qasim Castle isn't just another pretty fortress. It's a testament to centuries of maritime power, Portuguese colonial ambition, and Omani resilience. This isn't your typical tourist castle with gift shops and guided tours. This is raw history, where you can still feel the weight of empires that once controlled these waters. But here's what makes this place absolutely fascinating. It's been a silent witness to some of the most dramatic geopolitical shifts in Middle Eastern history. From Portuguese conquistadors to Omani sultans, from British naval power to modern-day strategic importance, this castle has seen it all. So buckle up, because we're about to explore why this remote fortress in the Norway of Arabia deserves a spot on every adventurous traveler's bucket list. Let's start with location, because Qasim Castle's position is nothing short of genius. Built by the Portuguese in 1624, this fortress sits at the narrowest point of the Strait of Hormuz, making it the perfect watchtower for one of the world's most critical choke points. Picture this: you're a Portuguese commander in the 17th century, and you need to control trade between Europe, India, and the Far East. Where do you build your fortress? Right here, where you can see every single ship that passes through these waters. It's like having a medieval radar system. The castle's design is absolutely brilliant. Those thick walls you see, they're not just for show. They're built to withstand cannon fire from the most advanced warships of the era. And those strategically placed towers? Each one offers a perfect vantage point to spot approaching vessels from miles away. But here's the kicker: this wasn't just about defense. The Portuguese used this castle as their administrative headquarters for the entire region. From these very walls, they controlled trade routes that connected 3 continents. Talk about punching above your weight. Now, let's talk architecture, because Qasim Castle is a masterclass in military engineering. What you're looking at isn't just a fortress. It's a fusion of Portuguese colonial design with local Omani building techniques. See those massive blocks of local limestone? They were quarried right here in the Majestic Peninsula and fitted together with such precision that many walls still stand strong after 400 years. Without modern cement, the Portuguese builders worked with local craftsmen, creating this unique architectural hybrid that you won't find anywhere else in the world. And here's something most visitors miss. The castle now houses an incredible museum that showcases traditional Omani life. We're talking about authentic dhow models, ancient weaponry, and traditional handicrafts that tell the story of how people lived in this strategic outpost. But my favorite part? The old prison cells that have been converted into exhibit spaces. Imagine, these very rooms once held pirates, smugglers, and political prisoners. Now they're preserving the cultural heritage of the Majestic Peninsula. That's what I call a glow-up. The castle's central courtyard is where the magic happens. Surrounded by these towering walls, you get this incredible sense of being transported back in time. It's like stepping into a living, breathing history book. Today, Qasim Castle has transformed from a military fortress into one of Oman's most unique cultural destinations. And let me tell you, visiting this place is like getting a private audience with history. The best part about Qasim Castle? It's not overrun with crowds. You can actually explore at your own pace, take Instagram-worthy photos without photobombing other tourists, and really absorb the atmosphere. The castle is open daily, and for just a few Omani rials, You get access to centuries of history. But here's the insider tip. Visit during golden hour. The way the setting sun hits these ancient walls while the Persian Gulf stretches out endlessly in front of you. It's absolutely magical. You'll understand why this location was so coveted by empires. And speaking of must-do experiences, you can't visit Qatar without taking a dhow cruise. These traditional boats will take you through the same waters that Portuguese sailors once patrolled from this fairy castle. You might even spot dolphins playing in the wake. Qatar Castle isn't just a destination. It's a journey through time. Standing on these ramparts, you're literally following in the footsteps of Portuguese conquistadors, Omani sultans, and countless travelers who recognize the strategic genius of this location. What makes this place truly special isn't just its history or architecture, it's how it makes you feel. In a world where we're constantly connected, Qatar Castle offers something rare. The chance to disconnect from the digital world and connect with something timeless and real. Whether you're a history buff, an architecture enthusiast, or just someone who loves discovering hidden gems off the beaten path, Qatar Castle delivers an experience you'll never forget. Qatar Castle. Picture this. You're driving through the lush green landscapes of Dhofar. Yes, green Oman exists. When suddenly, rising from the coastal plains like something out of an Arabian fairy tale, stands Qatar Castle. This isn't just any old fort. This is a masterpiece of defensive architecture that's been standing guard over the Arabian Sea for over 3 centuries. Built in the 17th century, Qatar Castle served as the official residence of the Wali, the governor of Dhofar region. But here's what's absolutely mind-blowing. This castle was constructed using a unique blend of traditional Omani building techniques and influences from the Portuguese occupation period. You're literally looking at architectural DNA that tells the story of cultural fusion. Let me walk you through what makes this place architecturally incredible. The castle is built around a central courtyard, classic Islamic design. But notice these thick walls? They're nearly 2 meters thick in some places. This wasn't just a residence. This was a fortress designed to withstand sieges. As we step inside, you can immediately feel the temperature drop. These corridors were designed with natural air conditioning in mind. The thick walls and strategic window placement create a cooling system that works without electricity. And check this out. These hand-carved doors and window frames are made from local materials, but the craftsmanship, pure artistry. Each carving tells a story. Each pattern has meaning. This isn't just functional architecture. It's a 3-dimensional history book. But Qatar Castle's real treasure isn't what you can see. It's the stories these walls could tell. During the 18th and 19th centuries, this castle was the nerve center for controlling the lucrative frankincense trade. We're talking about a spice more valuable than gold at the time. Ships from India, Africa, and beyond would dock at nearby Qatar port, and every single transaction was overseen from this very castle. The Wali who lived here didn't just govern a region. He controlled one of the most important trade hubs in the Arabian Peninsula. From these upper chambers, you can see for miles across the Arabian Sea. Imagine standing here as a 19th century governor, watching ships laden with precious cargo appear on the horizon. This wasn't just a home, it was a command center for maritime commerce. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. In the 1990s, Qatar Castle underwent extensive restoration, and during this process, archaeologists discovered something remarkable. Hidden chambers and passages that had been sealed for decades. Today, the castle functions as a museum, but it's unlike any museum you've ever visited. Each room has been meticulously restored to show different periods of the castle's history. You can literally walk through time, from the Portuguese influence period through the height of the frankincense trade era. The collection includes ancient weapons, traditional Omani textiles, historical documents, and artifacts from the frankincense trade. But my favorite part? The castle still maintains its original atmosphere. You're not just looking at history, you're standing inside it. What makes Qatar Castle truly special is that it hasn't been commercialized like many other historical sites. When you visit, you might be one of only a handful of people exploring these ancient halls. It's an intimate experience with history that's becoming increasingly rare in our modern world. The best time to visit is during the late afternoon when the golden light transforms the limestone walls into something truly magical. And if you're visiting during the Kharif season, Oman's monsoon period, the surrounding landscape is absolutely breathtaking. Qatar Castle isn't just a destination. It's a journey through time, a masterclass in medieval architecture, and a window into Oman's incredible maritime heritage. It represents everything I love about travel, The discovery of places that surprise you, educate you, and leave you with stories you'll tell for years to come. Al-Hazm Castle. Al-Hazm Castle, known locally as Halat Al-Hazm, stands majestically in the town of Al-Hazm in the Al-Rustak region of Oman. Built between 1708 and 1711 by Imam Sultan bin Saif II, this fortress was designed to be more than just a castle. It was meant to be an impregnable symbol of Omani power during one of the nation's most prosperous periods. What makes this castle absolutely mind-blowing is its sheer scale and ingenious design. We're talking about a fortress that covers an area of 6,000 square meters. That's larger than a football field. The walls rise up to 18.5 meters high in some places, and the thickness, a staggering 3 meters of solid stone and traditional Omani building materials. But here's where it gets really interesting. This castle was built during the Yoruba dynasty, when Oman was experiencing what historians call its golden age. The Omani Empire controlled trade routes from East Africa to the Indian subcontinent, and the wealth flowing through these routes, it helped fund architectural marvels like Al-Hazm. Walking through Al-Hazm Castle is like stepping into a military strategist's dream. Every single element was designed with defense in mind, but executed with such artistic flair that it's honestly breathtaking. The entrance system alone is a work of genius. You don't just walk straight into this castle. Oh no. Visitors must navigate through a series of angled passages and multiple gates, each designed to slow down potential attackers and give defenders the upper hand. It's like a medieval maze, but built with precision that would impress modern engineers. The central courtyard is absolutely stunning, surrounded by multi-level arcades with intricate geometric patterns that showcase the finest examples of Islamic architectural artistry. These aren't just decorative elements, they serve practical purposes too, providing ventilation and creating microclimates within the fortress. But here's the most incredible part, the water management system. Al-Hazm Castle features a sophisticated network of wells, underground channels, and storage tanks that could supply the entire fortress for months during a siege. The main well? It's an engineering marvel, carved deep into the bedrock and connected to natural underground springs. Loving what you see? You can experience it too. Now, let me share some secrets that most visitors never discover. Al-Hazm Castle is riddled with hidden passages and secret chambers that served as escape routes and storage areas for treasure and ammunition. Local legends speak of underground tunnels that connected the castle to distant points, allowing for surprise attacks or emergency evacuations. The castle also served as a prison for high-profile captives, including Portuguese colonial officials during Oman's liberation campaigns. The prison chambers, carved directly into the bedrock, maintained constant cool temperatures, both a mercy and a psychological tool. From the highest towers, guards could see for miles across the Al-Hajar Mountains and the surrounding valleys. This strategic positioning made Al-Hazm Castle virtually impossible to approach undetected. The 360-degree views from up here are absolutely spectacular, offering panoramas that stretch from the rugged mountain peaks to the fertile wadis below. Recent archaeological work has uncovered fascinating artifacts, ancient coins, weapons, pottery, and even personal items of the royal family. These discoveries paint a picture of daily life in an 18th century Omani fortress, revealing that despite its military purpose, Al-Hazm was a thriving center of culture and learning. What you're seeing today is the result of an incredible restoration project that began in the 1990s. The Omani government invested millions of dollars and years of painstaking work to restore Al-Hazm Castle to its former glory, using traditional building techniques and materials wherever possible. Master craftsmen used the same lime mortar techniques, traditional stone cutting methods, and decorative plasterwork that the original builders employed 300 years ago. It's not just restoration, it's a tribute to Omani heritage and a testament to the importance of preserving cultural treasures for future generations. Today, Al-Hazm Castle stands as both a historical monument and an active cultural center. The fortress hosts traditional festivals, educational programs, and cultural events that keep Omani heritage alive for new generations. Standing here as the sun sets behind Al-Hazm Castle, it's impossible not to feel the weight of history. This fortress has witnessed the rise of empires, the ebb and flow of trade routes that connected continents, and the evolution of a nation that has always punched above its weight on the world stage. Al Hazm Castle isn't just Oman's best-kept secret. It's a reminder that some of the world's most incredible destinations are waiting for travelers brave enough to venture beyond the typical tourist trails. Mirbat Castle. Standing majestically on the shores of the Arabian Sea, Mirbat was once the capital of Dhofar, trading in frankincense and Arabian horses. This coastal town, formerly known as Mocha, was involved in the export of frankincense in ancient times to places as far as China. This 17th century fortress was built to protect the town from the Portuguese, who had occupied the area for over 100 years. But here's where it gets really interesting. While most sources date the main structure we see today to the 19th century, the strategic importance of this location spans millennia. The castle is distinguishable by its Omani style of architecture, distinguishable by Islamic architecture, featuring the characteristic thick walls, defensive positions, and elegant geometric patterns that make Omani fortresses so unique. Today, the Ministry of Tourism, after restoration, has enhanced the role of the castle by converting it into a museum that narrates the story of people of Oman and the culture and lifestyle. The ground floor depicts the food and lifestyle of Oman, while the floors have different rooms with interesting artifacts about Omani trade routes and the sort of trade they dealt with over the centuries. But here's the story that most visitors never hear about, and honestly, it's criminal that there is nothing whatsoever mentioned about the Battle of Mirbat in 1972, of which this building played a key part. Picture this. It's dawn on July 19, 1972. 400 heavily armed communist guerrillas attacked the coastal town of Mirbat, which was occupied by a small number of Arab soldiers and 9 members of the SAS under the command of 23-year-old Captain Mikeli. Mirbat Castle is a square multi-story structure which, in 1972, sat adjacent to and was part of a series of sandbag trenches, fire pits, barracks, latrine, and a team room known as the British Army Training Team, BAT House. At 6 a.m. on July 19, 1972, the PFLOG attacked the British Army Training Team, BAT House based just outside the port of Mirbat, which housed 9 SAS soldiers. These weren't just any rebels, these were highly trained, heavily armed communist guerrillas looking for a big military and public relations victory. The odds were impossible, 9 men against 400, but what happened next became the stuff of legend. Having killed the local gendarme forces in the nearby fort, the Adu expected to overrun the small British Army training team with ease. They were wrong. For over 6 hours, these 9 SAS soldiers, using the castle and its defensive positions, held off wave after wave of attacks. The battle ended around 12:30. The SAS had lost 2 men, Labalabu and Tabina, but after the battle, 38 of the insurgents lay dead. The battle represented a watershed moment of the war, which finally ended our 1976. What happened at Mirbat Castle didn't just save a town, it changed the course of Omani history and helped secure the nation's future. Today, while the castle houses a museum that narrates the story of people of Oman and the culture and lifestyle, walking through these rooms knowing what transpired here adds an incredible layer of significance to every artifact, every stone, every defensive position. The Mirbat Fort is strategically located facing the sea and looking out to the harbor. The shore of Mirbat has a lot to say from the ancient days, medieval period to modern history. Standing in Mirbat Castle, you're not just visiting a museum, you're standing where history was made. From ancient frankincense traders to Portuguese colonizers, from Omani sultans to British special forces, this fortress has been witness to some of the most pivotal moments in Middle Eastern history. The next time you see Mirbat Castle, remember, you're looking at more than just beautiful Islamic architecture. You're looking at a symbol of resilience, courage, and the incredible stories that these ancient stones could tell. Ras Al Hadd Castle. Welcome to Ras Al Hadd Castle. And let me start with a fact that will absolutely shock you. This compact fortress, measuring just 16 by 13 meters, was built between 1560 and 1590 by local tribes who had one mission: protect their lands from foreign invaders at all costs. But here's what makes this castle truly extraordinary. Unlike the massive fortifications you might expect, Ras Al Had Castle was designed with surgical precision. Those two round towers at the northern corners? They weren't just for show, oh no. They provided a perfect 360-degree surveillance system that could spot approaching ships from miles away across the Arabian Sea. The builders used traditional stone and saruj, a special Omani building material made from limestone, clay, and date palm fibers that's literally, wait for it, harder than concrete. Walk through those ancient wooden doors, and you're stepping into a defensive masterpiece where every opening, every angle, every single stone was placed with military strategy in mind. What absolutely fascinated me when I explored this place was how the castle served as both fortress and lighthouse. That tower near the lagoon shore? It guided friendly merchants safely to harbor while simultaneously serving as the first line of defense against potential threats. It's like having a medieval GPS and security system rolled into one incredible structure. But the real genius of Ras Al Had Castle isn't just its construction, it's the location. And this is where the story gets absolutely mind-blowing. This castle sits at what historians call the gateway to the Indian Ocean. For centuries, this was one of the most important maritime crossroads in the entire world. Ships carrying precious spices, silk, and gold from India, Persia, and East Africa had to pass right by these shores. The tribes who built this castle weren't just protecting their fishing village. Oh no, they were controlling one of the most valuable trade routes in human history. Here's something that will absolutely amaze you. The same geographical features that made this location perfect for medieval trade also created one of nature's most incredible phenomena. The beaches surrounding Ras Al Had Castle are home to one of the largest green sea turtle nesting sites in the entire Indian Ocean. We're talking about thousands of ancient sea creatures who have been coming to these exact shores for millions of years, long before any castle, any humans, any civilization existed. The castle guards of the 16th century would have witnessed the same incredible turtle migrations we can see today. Can you imagine? Think about it. While medieval soldiers stood watch in these towers, scanning the horizon for enemy ships below them on the beaches, one of nature's most ancient rituals was quietly continuing, completely unchanged by human conflict and commerce. Isn't that just incredible? But Ras Al Had Castle is just the beginning of your adventure in this incredible region. The area surrounding the castle? It's like stepping into a living museum of natural wonders and cultural treasures. Just a short distance away, you'll find the famous Ras Al Jin's Turtle Reserve, the only place in Oman where you can legally join guided tours to witness these magnificent creatures nesting under the stars. Picture this. You're walking on pristine beaches at midnight, guided only by starlight, when suddenly, you encounter a 300-pound green sea turtle creating the next generation right before your eyes. The nearby town of Sur offers another layer to this incredible story. This isn't just any coastal town. It's been Oman's shipbuilding capital for over 600 years. The same maritime traditions that made Ras Al Had Castle necessary, they're still alive today. You can watch master craftsmen building traditional dhows using techniques passed down through 20 generations. But what really makes this region special is how seamlessly it blends history, nature, and living culture. You can literally stand in a 450-year-old fortress in the morning, watch ancient sea turtles nesting at night, and experience traditional Omani hospitality throughout your entire journey. How amazing is that? Ras Al Had Castle might be small compared to other famous fortresses around the world, but what it represents, it's absolutely enormous. This isn't just a building, it's a window into how geography, history, nature, and human ingenuity intersect in the most incredible ways. Standing in those ancient towers, looking out over the same waters that medieval guards once scanned for danger, you realize you're not just visiting a tourist attraction. You're connecting with an unbroken chain of human experience that stretches back centuries. And the most beautiful part? This incredible place is still relatively undiscovered. While millions flock to other famous castles around the world, Ras Al Had remains a hidden gem waiting for adventurous travelers who want to experience something truly authentic and unique.